This conference will now be recorded.
In this session, we will discuss how to identify if a given context-free grammar is LR0 or not using a different football. In the previous session, we have discussed how to identify if a given context-free grammar is LR0 or not by applying the property of ambiguity. That is, given a context-free grammar, we verified if the grammar is ambiguous in nature. So if the grammar was ambiguous in nature, then we have proved that the corresponding context-free grammar is not an LR0 grammar. However, assume that the grammar is not ambiguous. So if the grammar is not ambiguous, there is no way that you can say the corresponding context-free grammar is LR0. So the previous football, say F1, is applicable if and only if the given grammar is ambiguous. So if the given grammar is ambiguous, you can directly conclude that the corresponding context-free grammar is no more LR0. Alternately, if we have a case where we are not able to prove that the given grammar is ambiguous, or alternately, the given grammar is not ambiguous, then this deduction does not help us to say that given grammar is LR0. So remember that using football 1, we can only prove that a given language is not LR0, but we cannot prove that the given language is LR0. So if you have a context-free given context-free grammar given to you, if you are able to prove that grammar is ambiguous in nature, so if you are able to prove that grammar is ambiguous in nature, then you can directly conclude that such a grammar is not an LR0 grammar. So verifying if a given grammar is ambiguous or not by applying football 1 was the discussion in the previous session. In this session, we shall try to apply another football wherein using this football we shall now once again prove if the given grammar is not LR0 or alternately the possibility of grammar to be LR0. This football too is more about what you call as proper prefix verification. So we try to verify possibility of proper prefix of a given string in the given language. And if we are able to identify a proper prefix, then we shall decide based on the property of proper prefix whether the given language is LR0 language or not, or alternately, if a given context-free grammar is LR0 grammar or not. Now we shall see what football 2 is actually. So as far as football 2 is concerned, assume that we have a language wherein the language has some set of strings. So as usual, the notation W would be used to indicate a set of all possible strings. Now assume that the given language has n strings W1, W2, W3, so on to Wn. And if you are randomly choosing a given input string, assume that W3 is randomly chosen. So if you are able to choose randomly a string called as W3, and then if you are able to identify some strings which are proper prefixes of this string, say assume that you have taken or considered W1 and W1 happens to be proper prefix of W3. If W1 is a proper prefix of W3 and if W1 is contained in the given language, then you can say that the given language is no more LR0. So if you have a language which is consisting some set of strings W1, W2, W3, so on to Wn, and if you randomly pick out some string, say W3, and for this string, if there is one or more proper prefix within the given language, then such a context-free language cannot be LR0 language, or alternately, whatever context-free grammar that was used to generate this particular language can no more be LR0 grammar. So here is the football 2 statement. If the language generated using the grammar productions has both input string and also a proper prefix of this input string, then the grammar is no more LR0 grammar. So this is all about football 2. So I once again repeat, if you have a language wherein the given language has some set of finite strings, and if you randomly pick out some string which is belonging to the given language, and if this string which is randomly chosen has one or more proper prefixes, then you can directly conclude that the given grammar is not an LR0 grammar. So this is all about football 2. So this is how you use football 2 property to prove that the given language is not LR0. If you recollect, whatever procedure that we have applied in the previous session was more about verifying if the property, if the grammar has ambiguous property. So if the grammar was having ambiguous property, you are proving that the corresponding grammar is no more LR0. Alternately, instead of proving or verifying for the possibility of ambiguity, in this particular approach, we try to find proper prefix of a given string. If you are able to find proper prefix of a given string, so if there is a proper prefix for the input string, then once again you are proving that the given context free grammar is not LR0. So football 2 can be applied to prove that a given context free grammar cannot be LR0 grammar. Having discussed about the property confined to football 2, we shall now see how we can analyze such grammars and what is the procedure to be followed. As I mentioned in the previous slide, if you randomly choose a given input string which is belonging to the given language, and then if this string contains proper prefixes which are also contained in the same language, then we can say that such grammars cannot be LR0 grammars. So the objective is to see that you are randomly deriving some input strings of the language by using or applying the given grammar productions. And if we verify if the derived input string, which is randomly chosen, has proper prefix, then we can say that the grammar is not LR0. So given some context-free grammar productions, assume that there are some context-free grammar productions. Using these productions, you will try to derive a set of all possible strings. So if you derive set of all possible strings using this particular set of context-free grammar productions, you can get what you call as a language wherein W1, W2, W3, so on to Wn would be the strings belonging to the given language. So W1, W2, W3, so on to Wn would be the derived strings. And from these derived strings, say W3, if you are able to identify that W1 or W2 or both W1 and W2 are proper prefixes, then you can say that this language or grammar is no more LR0 grammar. So this is one important property wherein you can apply for a given context the grammar to prove that grammars are no more LR0, apart from verifying the property of ambiguity. So we shall now see few examples wherein we shall apply football to verify if the given context-free grammar is LR0 grammar or not. So here is the first example. We have the productions capital E derives E plus C, capital E derives E star E, capital E derives small e. So looking out at this particular context-free grammar set of productions, we can say that the non-terminal set is E, the terminal set is plus star and then A. There are three terminals and then one non-terminal which is available. This would be the production list confined to the context-free grammar productions, and start symbol for this grammar would be the symbol which is present on the left hand side of the first production. Here the productions are E dash E plus E the first production, E dash E star E is the second production, E dash A is the third production. Of these three productions, whatever symbol that happens to be the left hand side symbol of the first production, that symbol would be the start symbol. So as far as the grammar is concerned, we can say that this grammar has four elements, specifically N, T, P, S, where N is equal to E, capital T is equal to plus star A, production list P is equal to E raise E plus C, E raise E star E, E raise A, and then start symbol is capital E. Now having identified what are the elements of this particular grammar, that is capital N, capital T, capital P, capital S, we shall now look into applying the procedure which was discussed in the previous slides with respect to football to verify if the given grammar is LR0 or not. Here, if you take the production E raise E plus C, E raise E star E, and then E raise A, if you start from non-terminal A, applying production of the form E raise A, we can derive string of the form A. The first string which is possible is A. Then similarly, if you start with non-terminal E and then replace E by E plus E, so the second sentential form is E plus E. Now assume that you replace this E by A. So you have next sentential form to be E plus A. And then if you replace this E by A, you have the final sentential form to be consisting A plus A. It means it is a string of terminals. So you have A plus A to be another string. Similarly, you can derive A star A to be one string, A plus A star A to be another string, and then so on. So you can have strings of the form A derived, A plus A could be derived, A star A could be derived. Then you also have the possibility of A plus A star A, and then so on. So the language would be consisting these set of strings. Although these are not the complete set of strings which are possible, but we are showing possibility of some strings which can happen. Now, let's look into what are the possible set of strings which are of length 0, length 1, length 2, and so on. Here, A is string of length 1, A star A are both of string, both strings which are of length 2, a plus a plus a plus a plus a star a are strings of length 3. Similarly, a star a plus a is a string of length 3. A plus a star a star a plus a plus a plus a, also a star a are strings of length 3. Now assume that these are set of all strings which are possible for lengths 1, 2, 3. Now, if you randomly pick out some string, say a plus a star a. So if you pick out string which is of the form a plus a star a, then proper prefixes of this string would be as follows. You can take a itself as one string. You can have a followed by plus. You can have a followed by plus followed by a. Then you can have a followed by a followed by star. Then another possibility is the final string itself, a plus star a. But if we include a plus a plus a star a, then it means that we are including the same string itself. So don't include this particular string, because we are looking out at proper prefixes. We are more bothered about subset of the given string. Now try to verify if any of these proper prefixes are also available in the given language. If any of the proper prefixes are also available in the given language, then you can declare that the given grammar is no more LR0 grammar. So coming back to this one, you set up all possible prefixes for this string were identified as A. Then you had A plus. Then you identified it as A plus A. You have also identified it as A plus A star. And finally, you have discarded A plus A star A just because of the reason that it happens to be the string itself. Now verify if A, which is a proper prefix, happens to be contained in the given language. This particular A is available in this particular language. That is, it is a member of the given language. A plus A that you take into consideration is not available as member of the given language. Then take into consideration A plus A. Is A plus A, which is a proper prefix, is available in the given language as one of the string. That is, A plus A is member of the given language. Since you have proper prefixes, say A and A plus A in the given language itself, so this grammar cannot be LR0 grammar. So this is how you prove if a given context-free grammar is LR0 or not. Now we should look into another example. Say capital E raise E plus C, capital E raise E minus C, capital E raise E star E, capital E raise E slash E, capital E raise A. So if you apply, instead of applying football 2 directly, assume that you start with application of football 1. So application of football 1 requires verifying if the grammar is ambiguous or not. So if you say that the given grammar is ambiguous, then directly you can deduce that given context-free grammar is no more LR0. So if you apply football 1, then you have to prove that the grammar is ambiguous. So look out at this particular 4 productions. If you take the production of the form capital E derives E plus E, the symbol present on LHS part of the production that is the non-terminal symbol present on LHS part of the production, appears twice on RHS part of the production. So whatever symbol that is present on LHS part of the production appears twice on RHS part of same production. So if you have at least one production wherein the non-terminal symbol present on LHS part of the given production appears twice or more on the RHS part of the same production, then you can directly deduce that the given grammar is ambiguous and hence the language cannot be LR0. This was the property that you are applying to verify if a given context-free grammar is LR0 or not in the previous session. Contrary to that one, here we shall see what are the possibilities of identifying if the given grammar is LR0 or not by applying football to. So applying football to requires us to derive set of all possible strings or at least some strings which are possible by using these grammar productions. So some of the strings which are possible here would be A. As usual, you can say that it is A plus A. You can have A minus A. Apart from A minus A, you also can have A star A, A slash A. Then you can have A plus A plus A. You can have A plus A star A, and then so on. There can be any set of strings which are possible. Now assume that you have randomly chosen this particular string A plus A. So if you take this randomly chosen string A plus A, the proper prefixes for this randomly chosen string would be, you can start with A, then you can have A plus, but when you take A plus A, it would be string itself, so discard that one. Apart from this one, proper prefix can also be epsilon, where you have A plus A initially, where you have A plus A. Epsilon would be the symbol, which can also be proper prefix. By default, epsilon happens to be proper prefix for any string. Now, these are proper prefixes which are available to you, A plus, and then epsilon. From the given set of strings which are possible, try to identify if the proper prefix of the string or if any one proper prefix of the string is also contained in the given language. So if you take this particular symbol A, which happen to be proper prefix, this proper prefix is also contained in the given language. That is, for the randomly chosen string A plus A, which was belonging to L, assume that this was randomly chosen. So A plus A was randomly chosen. For this randomly chosen string A, there was a proper prefix which is A. So because there is a proper prefix which also belongs to the same language, therefore this implies that the grammar is no more LR0. So because there is a proper prefix which is also happening to be part of the given language, then you can directly say that the given grammar is no more LR0. So here is the set of all possible strings which are generated using the grammar productions till length 3. Here A is a string which is of length 1, A plus A, A minus A are strings which are of length 2, and all other strings which are available here. Yes, okay. A star A, A slash A are also of length 2, and all these strings from here A plus A plus A, A plus A minus A plus A star A plus A by A minus A plus A, and so on, are of length 3. Now assume that you are choosing some random input string from the given language, which is highlighted in yellow color. So this is the string. which is chosen. So this is a string which is chosen. Now a plus a belongs to a plus a star a belongs to L. Try to find out the viable prefixes for this input string. That is the valid prefixes for this input string. So the possible prefixes for this input string would be string of length 1, which is a, string of length 2 is a plus, string of length 3 is a plus a. So string of length 4, which is a plus a star. And if you go for string of length 5, it would be the entire string itself. So discard that one. But these are proper prefixes which are available. From these proper prefixes, which can be possible for the given input string, try to find out possibility of these strings belonging to given language. So if you take string A, this string A belongs to given language. A plus does not belong to the given language. A plus A plus A plus A star does not belong to the given language. However, string of the form A plus A belongs to the given language. So because we have a proper prefix, which is A belonging to the given language, A plus A belonging to the given language, since these two strings A and then A plus A are proper prefix of chosen string, which is A plus A star A, therefore this grammar cannot be LR0 grammar. The moment you are able to identify the given context-free grammar when generating a specific language has some random prefixes for a randomly chosen string, then declare that such a grammar is no more LR0. So here is another example wherein we have the productions of the form capital E as E plus C, E star E, parenthesized E, and then A. So once again, set of possible strings for this language could be A. You can have A plus A. You can have A star A. You can have parenthesized A. You can have A plus A star A. It can be A star A plus A. Alternately, you can have A star A, and then so on. Now assume that you choose a randomly identified string of the form A plus A star A here. Now symbol A happens to be the proper prefix for this randomly chosen string. This means that A plus A star A plus A star A, which was randomly chosen, is belonging to L, and then A, which is a proper prefix, is also belonging to the given language. At the same time, we have another proper prefix, A plus A, also belonging to the given language. Since there is a proper prefix for the randomly chosen string, you can declare that the grammar is no more LR0. So as far as the given grammar is concerned, it is not LR0. So here is a set of all possible strings which are generated till length 3 by considering some of the productions. And then similar to the previous example, we are choosing A plus A star A as randomly chosen string. And for this A plus A star A, strings of the form A and A plus A are proper prefixes. So these two strings are proper prefixes. Because there exist proper prefixes for this randomly chosen string A plus A star A, therefore the given grammar is not LR0 grammar. This is how we can prove that given grammar is not LR0 grammar by application of football 2. And here we have one more example wherein there is a production to the form capital S, there is ES, and a capital S derives epsilon. So if you start with S and then replace S by epsilon, we have S deriving epsilon. So epsilon would be one of the string which is possible. Similarly, if you start with S and replace S by AS, you have the sentential form which contains AS. Now assume that instead of S derives AS, we apply S derives epsilon. Then we have string which is the form A. So you can get A. Alternately, if you start with S and replace S by AS, so you get AS as sentential form. Assume that you once again apply the production of the form AS. So you get AS as sentential form. And now if you apply S derives epsilon, we are left out with the string which is of the form AS. Another possible string which is possible is AA. In this way, if you keep on deriving strings pertaining to this particular language, you can have epsilon, string of length 1 which is A, string of length 2 which is 2A, string of length 3 which is 3A, string of length 4 which is 4A, and then so on. Now, if you randomly pick out this particular string, say A, the possible prefixes for this string is epsilon itself. This epsilon is present here. Then string of length 1 which is A. So A is also available as part of this particular string. String of length 2 which is AA. String AA is also available as part of the string. You can also have AAA, but this does not happen to be proper prefix. So you have three proper prefixes, epsilon, A, and then AA. All these prefixes are available here. So if you have one or more prefixes of randomly chosen string present in the given language, then you can directly conclude that given language is not LR0 language, or alternately, the context-free grammar which was used to generate the language is no more LR0 grammar. So here you can see the possible strings which are of length 1, length 2, length 3, length 4, length 5, length 6, length 7, length 8, length 9, and so on. No doubt epsilon is also one of the number of the language. Now assume that you have randomly chosen string which is of length 4. So the possible prefixes for this string AA would be epsilon itself. Then the string of length 1 which is A, string of length 2 which is AA, then string of length 3 which is A. Now if you can prove that at least one of these prefixes is contained in the given language, then we can say that the given grammar is not LR0 grammar. Here epsilon is of length 0, A is of length 1, AA is of length 2, AAA is of length 3. Assume that we did not derive this is equal epsilon and place that in the given language. However, we have A followed by 2A's followed by 3A's. All these three prefixes are belonging to the given language. So because these prefixes happen to be proper prefixes and they are belonging to given language for some randomly chosen string of the form 4 sequential years, this grammar cannot be categorized to be LR0. Hence, this is a grammar which is not LR0 grammar. Now, consider another grammar. S derives AS, S derives BS, and then S derives C. We will see what are the possible strings for this grammar. If you start with S and then apply production of the form S derives C, one of the string which is possible is C. Similarly, assume that you start with S and then apply production of the form S derives AS. So I have AS which is available. application of S derives C here would lead to the derivation of string, which is of the form AC, where it has two terminals. Similarly, instead of S derives AS, if you apply S derives BS, and then immediately apply production of the form S derives C, we're getting string of the form BC. So some of the things which are possible is C, then AC, BC, and then so. In this manner, if you are able to find a set of all possible strings or some possible strings which could be generated using the given set of grammar productions, and then randomly choose some input string. And if you are able to prove that there is some proper prefix of this input string, which is also belonging to the given language, then we can say that the grammar is no more LR0. So if you apply football 1, there is no chance that you can prove the given grammar is ambiguous. So applying football 1 here, there is no chance that the given grammar can be proved as ambiguous. So because as far as football 1 is concerned, you are more worried about verifying if LHS symbol of a given production, if the LHS symbol of a given production appears twice or more on RHS of a given production, then you can say that based on this property, the given grammar is ambiguous. The moment given grammar is ambiguous, you are able to declare that it is no more LR0. But this particular property does not hold good with respect to the given grammar. So we are forced to apply football 2 here. Now assume that we have some set of strings which are derived using the given context free grammar productions, and that we have randomly chosen string of the form ABC. This means that proper prefixes for this string would be epsilon. Epsilon is not available as part of the given language. We have proper prefix of length 1, which is A. This is not available in the given language. Another proper prefix is of length 2 AB. AB is not available in the given language. The final prefix that you can get is ABC, but ABC is a string itself, so we are not considering this one. So if you take some string ABC, we are unable to prove that there is some proper prefix for this string. Now instead of ABC, assume that you have AAC at your hand. The possible prefixes for this one would be epsilon itself. Epsilon is not member of the language. String of length 1, which is A. A is not member of the language. String of length 2, AA, is also not member of the given language. So you are unable to prove that there is some proper prefix for a randomly chosen input string as far as this language is concerned. Therefore, if this is the case, you can say that the language is no more LR0. So if you are able to prove that language has a proper prefix, you can say that it is no more LR0. But in this case, we are not able to prove that there is a proper prefix. Assume that you take BAC as randomly chosen string, then epsilon is not available, B is not available, BA is not available, BAC itself happens to be the entire string. So the possibility of considering it to be proper prefix is ruled out. Since there is no proper prefix which we can identify for the randomly chosen string as far as this language is concerned, therefore you cannot say that the grammar is no more LR0. And in this case, you are boiling down to classifying this particular CFG to be LR0 grammar. So as far as the given grammar is concerned, with the application of football 2, you would be categorizing this as LR0 grammar, rather not an LR0 grammar. So the solution for this grammar is accepting it to be an LR0 grammar. Then we have another example here wherein we have the productions of the form S there is AS, S there is BS, S there is epsilon. Now if we look out at productions here, we cannot prove that the given grammar is ambiguous by applying football 1, because we are not able to prove the given grammar is ambiguous by applying football 1. There is no way that you can say the grammar is not LR0 grammar. So application of football 1 is not applicable for this example. So you are forced to go for applying football 2. Now assume that football 2 is applied. Then these are the set of strings which are available for you. Epsilon is string of length 0. A and B are strings of length 1. AA, AB, BA, BB are strings of length 2. These strings are of length 3. Now assume that you randomly choose some input string which is of the form ABA. So for this input string, one of the proper prefix is epsilon, another proper prefix is A. You can have one more proper prefix as AB, and in case if you take another proper prefix, it would be ABA itself. So the possibility of ABA is ruled out because it is a string itself. Now, epsilon is present in the given language. A is present in the given language. AB is also present in the given language. This means that proper prefixes epsilon, A, AB are present in the given language. Because one or more proper prefixes are present in the given language, therefore this grammar cannot be treated as LR0 grammar. I can say that the grammar is no more LR0 grammar. So this is how we can prove or verify if a given grammar is LR0 or not by applying football 2. In the next session, we shall see some more footballs wherein we can apply them to conclude if a given grammar is not LR0 grammar, or look out for the possibility of judging the grammar to be LR0 grammar. So this football 2 is all about finding proper prefix of a given input string. So if you're able to find one or more proper prefixes of some randomly input string, wherein both the input string and randomly chosen prefixes for this input string are belonging to the given language, then you can say that the grammar is no more LR0. This is how you apply football 2 for solving the specifications related to decision problems coming under LR0.